Hey everyone, welcome back to Bird Talk with Terrence Mathis. I'm William Brandon. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel Atlanta Sports Unlimited and turn on those notifications so you don't miss an episode. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, the simplest sports fantasy game on the market. Get this, sign up using the code ASU and Prize Picks will 100% match your initial offer up to $100. We've been on a summer break, but we are back.
Yes.
Get you ready for the season. And
Yes.
just in time before the Falcons' first game, preseason game this weekend against the Miami Dolphins. But just for starters, man, how you been?
I've been good, man. Long summer. It's been hot, man. Oh my goodness. I'm not complaining because we know as soon as we start complaining, we're gonna say, "Oh, it's cold. I can't wait till it get hot again." So I'm gonna enjoy this heat. I like the heat. Whatsoever. I'm not a cold person, but it's been a good summer, interesting summer in all perspectives, from college football to pro football.
Mhm.
But I've been keeping my eye on these Falcons so far.
And I've been seeing you all about. I've seen you all over the place here with the Atlanta Falcons. You were recently at the team store and training camp. How were those events for you?
It was amazing. I was with Jamal Anderson and Ray Buchanan, and the line was wrapped around not only the store but around the building.
Wow.
And but it was phenomenal, dude. It was really, really the I think the most phenomenal thing about it, I was with Jamal and Ray. You
Mhm.
know, guys that we see each other, but we really don't get a chance to do things together. It was good to see those guys and be with those guys and laugh and talk, and then even with the fans, how we reminisced and talked, and it was even the fans that didn't even see you play, and just watching their faces as you sign autographs and takes
Uh-huh.
pictures with them. It was an outstanding day. I was truly humbled by the love that we received that night.
Yeah, I saw that, and that's awesome. I seen posts all over Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram from other fans I know and other
Right.
people I know. So I know that meant a lot to them. And then you was talking about the heat earlier. I saw a couple pictures of you at the training camp, and you were sweating bullets, man. Do you think you could handle this training camp the way how hot it is now?
Hey man, I probably could, because it's funny because I'm a natural sweater anyway.
Hmm.
And it was funny because even when we were in training camps in South Carolina, whatsoever, I used to sweat like crazy. And coaches would say, "Get you some water, get you some." I go get a sip. No, drink more. Dude, I'm telling you something. Me and the heat, we're really good friends, and sweat does not bother me.
Yeah,
As I was signing autographs and sweat dripping, I had a couple of timeouts where I says, "Hey, timeout, let me back up and wipe it off and
yeah,
keep it going." But again, the fans were incredible, man, and the young people were incredible. The energy, it wasn't like it was a week prior or so
Mhm.
where the hill was completely crowded,
Yeah,
but it was enough people there that really enjoyed being there. For one, enjoyed that 98 part of that 98 team
yeah.
that was there, and then enjoyed watching the Falcons practice. It's a different vibe this year. But it's a different vibe because of, you can see the possibilities,
Yeah.
but they're still cautious because you don't know. Does
Right.
that make sense?
No, it makes a lot of
It's one of
sense.
those things. It's one of those things that everybody's excited about what they're seeing, and Bijan, and they looking at all the Pitts is back, and they looking at this defense, and they going, "Wow, the possibilities of this." But then you go, they have disappointed us so many, many
Yeah.
times before. And that's it. But that's I'm not saying that's every fan, but there's
Right.
some fans that go, "I like what I see, but I gotta wait and see."
Did you get a chance to chop it up with any of the younger Falcons that are out there now?
I did. I did. I had
Can you tell us anything that you talked about? You don't have to give specifics or
yeah.
exact word for
Well,
word, but
I did. I grabbed Drake London after
mhm,
one practice, and I kept telling him, "Hey man, you're a great talent, big physical receiver." I said, "You have the opportunity to be the next great one that comes out of here." I said, then I went, "Dang man, I wish I could just get my hands on you. I wish I was in that meeting room with you. I wish I was on that." in that huddle in the sideline working with you. And he looked at me, he says, well, I have no meetings right now. Let's talk. And we talked about some things, and I was showing him some things, and most of all, I was telling him, I says, don't go to practice just to go to practice.
Mm-hmm.
I says, have a game plan going to practice. I says, you young guys come to practice wanting to beat the guy across from you. I says, I came to practice to beat the guy that's on this line of scrimmage with me, which is me.
Yeah.
And he looked at me, and I says, when you go one-on-one, I says, you probably get 5 reps of one-on-one, don't you? He says, yeah, about that. And I said, you probably run 5 different routes. He goes, yes. I says, well, how are you going to get good at any of those routes if you run 5 different routes? I says, I used to come out and I knew I only had 5 reps of one-on-one. And I said, I'm going to run 5 slants today. That's all I'm going to do. No matter where he is, where he lined up, what he's doing, I'm going to run 5 slants. And he looked at me. I says, how are you going to get better at a route if you don't work on it?
Right.
And he's like, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's
and then
great advice.
we talked about bump and run releases whatsoever, and where he should be, on his release and all that stuff. And then I watched a little bit of tape the next day. He was better. Then I seen him the third day, and we talked, and I looked, I said, well, how did that work for you? And he gave me a big thumbs up. And I said, hey man, keep working. And I didn't want to impose.
Yeah.
And I just told him, I says, hey, if you want to talk, get my number, you know how to get my number, give me a call whatsoever. And it was really cool. Then I had a chance to talk to Kyle Pitts after practice.
Oh, you did.
And that was a good conversation. That was a conversation I've been waiting to have.
Yeah.
His rookie year. So basically what I told him was this. I say, you're not a tight end. Let's get it straight right now. I said, you're a wide receiver playing a tight end position. Mm-hmm. I said, don't get put in a box and start conforming to being a traditional tight end. Right. I said, let's not do that. I said, you are a wide receiver that's in a big body that's happened to be in a position called tight end. Right. I says, you are a route running, pass catching receiver. I said, yeah, they're going to ask you to block. When they do that, you do that. I says, but for you to get better at your position, I said, at least once a week, you need to go work with the wide receivers. You tell your coach, today I'm going to work with the wide receivers. I said, that's the only way you're going to get better. And he looked at me like, wow. I said, dude, come on, man. I said, that's the only way you're going to get better. I said, I watch you and you running routes like a tight end. Wow. And he looked at me like he wanted to, I said, you don't run routes like that in college. Yeah. That's why you got drafted, because the way you ran routes. I said, not like a tight end, like a wide receiver. Mm-hmm. That's who you are. I said, and that's your advantage over everybody, that you're a wide receiver in a position that's going to get guys that's not big as you, fast as you, and strong as you, so you can dominate. So I said, once a week, go run routes go work out with the receivers. And he said, okay, yeah. So that was cool. The 2 guys that I really wanted to get to, that was awesome. Let me tell you, man, the 2 days that I was there, the first day I was there, I couldn't believe my eyes what I seen. Mm-hmm. I seen a defense that I stopped watching the offense. Wow. I watched the defense the whole time because I played in Pittsburgh. We had top 3 defense. Mm-hmm. I did an internship in Baltimore, top 3 defense. And I'm not saying that's that caliber of defense, but what I'm saying is they have qualities that remind me of those 2 teams. The way they fly around, how they stop the run, the confidence in the secondary, the safeties that are active, and just the way they gel together and play together. And it was phenomenal to see. It was really phenomenal to see. You see the young guys in the secondary playing well, and the guy from Utah, is it Clark?
Yeah, Philip Clark.
Yeah, he's playing well. Then you got Bates, that's the quarterback back there's mm-hmm. playing well, and then you got Bud Dupree, the roster, depth chart came out. Bud Dupree is starting at linebacker, and you seeing these guys flying. Let me tell you, the day I was out there, the first day I was out there, they stopped the run. When I say they were going against the first team offense.
Right.
They were hitting the running back in the backfield.
Wow.
They were stopping and stuffing the run. It was impressive to see. Impressive to see. And, you know, offense still has a ways to go. I get it. You know, they still trying to all these different pieces whatsoever. But, you know, here's the thing. It is, and I've been wanting to say, I'm not going to even go to Ritter yet. We'll come back to Ritter. There's a guy on this offense that reminds me of Roddy White by his attitude, his confidence, and that's Hollins that we got from the Raiders.
Matt Collins.
This dude, he's big, he's physical, he's cocky, he's confident, and he has a whole bunch of swag, and I love it. I love it. And right now with a young offense who hasn't defined their leader yet, right now I'm watching that guy, and I'm watching the way he goes about his business. We got to catch up to him.
And that's a perfect segue, because I was going to ask you, are you comfortable right now with the wide receiver position at its current status?
I am. We got Scotty Miller from Tampa Bay. Boy, that dude is quick, man. I watched him in the red zone catch a ball. He caught a ball 4 or 5 steps. He was in the end zone. Wow. And I'm looking at Hollins.
Do you know if it was like, I'm just curious, was it short yardage when he caught that, or like a third down play?
Yeah, it was a screen. It was a receiver screen. He caught it and was poof.
Wow.
Blocks came. He came off them blocks. By the time the backside linebackers in pursuit came, he was already in the zone.
Was he in there with the starters?
Yes, he was in there with the starters. So you have London, Hollins, Scotty Miller, Kyle Pitts.
Jonnu was in there.
Jonnu Smith, Bijan Robinson, Patterson, Algier. Hey, man. And then you got a very, very experienced offensive line. Oh, my goodness. Here's the thing. And I was telling somebody when I was at camp, they asked me about Ritter. You know, it was a reporter, matter of fact, and I won't say his name. He asked me about Ritter. What did I think? Blah, blah, blah. Should he be further along now? This and that. And I say, yeah, he probably should be a little bit further along. He probably should be a little bit better than what we're seeing right now, because he had all last year, had OTAs, mini camp. So, you know, should be a little sharper. I says, but here's the thing. You guys won't let his spirit sit still. He says, what are you talking about? You posting all these and writing all these rumors about Falcons potentially trading for a quarterback.
Right.
How is this guy supposed to feel knowing I have to be perfect every day at practice, or they may trade for another quarterback to come in here and take my job? I says, why would you do that to a young guy who's already been named the starter of this Falcon franchise as the quarterback? Why would you do that to him? I mean, even on social media, people like, well, why would you do that? Really? You're not even giving him a chance. Okay, here's the question. Here's the question. And this is what I asked him. I said, who's out there right now that's better? That you think that's going to come in here and play lights out? Who's out there right now? Who's out there that we can trade for right now that's going to come in and play at the MVP level? No one.
Right.
No one. You want to talk about the quarterback at San Francisco that got drafted whatsoever and got hurt, this and that?
Lance, yeah.
Lance ain't proved himself yet.
Has not.
Why would you want a guy who haven't even played as much as Ritter has? You gonna Trey Lance? Really? You gotta understand. Desmond Ritter was a Heisman candidate. Come on, man. What are y'all talking about?
And my thing about it is, it's, I hate to quote Allen Iverson, but it's practice. It's practice. We're talking about practice.
Yeah.
And this is where we want him to make mistakes if he's going to make mistakes.
Exactly.
so he can learn from them.
Exactly.
I mean, they're
Exactly.
acting like this is week 12 or something.
Right.
I get it if we're down the road, but we're
Yeah.
in training camp right now.
It's training
Let's
camp. You're
and
right.
then and what sparked up some of the social media was that first week, and it was an interception made by Jalen Hawkins on Ritter, but Steve Smith, the former receiver of the Carolina Panthers, retweeted it and made a big stink, like who's throwing the ball, who's throwing the ball. So that kind
Right.
of drove
Hmm.
up the attention
Right.
about
Right.
Ritter throwing that interception. But again,
Right.
it's training camp. And
It's
since
training
he's
camp.
been throwing these other TDs in training camp, you don't hear anybody coming out applauding or bigging him up for it.
But,
None of that's coming out.
well, here's the thing. Hawkins get a check too.
Right.
He's a professional too.
Right.
He's supposed to make plays too. So
Mm-hmm.
come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all act like the kid he's on a short leash. No, he's not. He has enough weapons around him. He has a defense that's behind him, and he's going to play extremely, extremely well, better than what you think, because of the fact that he's not going to be asked to do much. All he's going to be asked to make sure you get the ball in the playmaker's hands.
He
Take
threw a
care of the football.
touchdown in this joint practice against the
Yeah,
Dolphins, but
right, right. And so I'm, here's the thing. I love what Arthur Smith has created.
Mhm.
He's created at every position competition, like for Scotty Miller.
Right.
No one has talked about this. Josh Ali, former Kentucky wide receiver. When Scotty Miller was hurt with his ribs, Josh Ali stepped up and was playing very, very well. No one's talking about that. There's diamonds in the rough right now, guys, that's gonna make some impact on this football team that's gonna help this team win football games. Now, we're early, and just like last year, I'm very optimistic because of this is the first time in years that I've been to a practice and really watched a practice from the sideline. And I had it's funny because I was there and I had conversations with the GM, Fontenot. Fontenot walked by me, hey, what's up, blah, 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 this and that. And I said, man, y'all did a good job this off season. I said, it looked like they're having fun out there, and we were talking about it. He says, it's good to see guys like you come back, for you guys come back so they can see what champions look like and what they sound like whatsoever. And I said to him, I said, you signing people to the roster is not the biggest acquisition for you guys.
Right.
I said, Steven Jackson and Jerry Gray and Nielsen are the biggest acquisitions that you have. So he looked at me. I said, you got 3 guys with championship pedigree. They can tell these guys how to be champions and how not to do things where you cannot be a champion. And he said, that's right. That's right. I says, if you don't have, we talk about this for 2 years. If you don't have championship pedigree, how you expect to win? So you got Bates, you got Calais, you got these guys who have won championships, divisions and conference championships, and all these things. You got guys like that's in the locker room that's telling you, hey man, this is how things are supposed to be. Hey man, if we're gonna win games, we gotta be together more. We can't be a bunch of individuals out there just looking out for ourselves, but saying we're a team. Sometimes you gotta become unselfish. You gotta be selfless in this game for us to win. When we always said this is the only way we win is if we become selfless and stop being selfish. And that way, if you do your job and we win, we all benefit from it.
Right.
I mean, commercials, endorsement deals, new contracts, your free agent teams want you because you got championship pedigree.
100%.
So
even to y'all, we wouldn't know the term dirty birds if y'all wasn't a championship pedigree team.
Exactly.
Jamal Anderson's dance still wouldn't be popular to this day if it wasn't for that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And you got to understand, think about this with that team. We had Cornelius Bennett, who has played in 4 AFC champions, 4 Super Bowls now.
Right.
4 Super Bowls. You got Dan Reeves that was what, 6 Super Bowls
Mm-hmm.
Coach were played in. Then you had Eugene Robinson that's back, two Super Bowls. You had guys like that you bring over, and that's 3 guys. You William White, who was just a mentor, not just on the field but off the field. So you merge a lot of young guys that were hungry with these guys that have championship pedigree that taught us, hey man, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why listen, it went down to this. Why you come to work dressed like that? No, that's crazy, right? Dude, you need to shave. You need to get a haircut. Hey man, why are you
That's some
talking like that?
accountability that that's
Yeah. Why are you sleeping in the meetings? All why you late?
right.
Why are you throwing up? We just started practice. It was just, we held each other accountable. It was fun to see. And I don't like to talk about the past too much, because the past it's almost like where we are today.
Mm-hmm.
So in the past, if Ray got beat in practice, I'm on him. Dude, you can't, that just cannot happen. That just cannot happen. Mm-hmm. If I drop a ball, see, that just cannot, you can't do that. And I never, you want to go, man, but you go, you bite your lip and go, you right. Not today. Dude, you can't drop that. They start fighting.
Yes.
Fight your own teammate because he's trying to hold you accountable. And I'm not saying that's the Falcons.
No, I know
that across the league
it is.
today.
It's across sports today.
It's all sports.
You see it
and
in the NBA
it's
everywhere.
amazing to me, man. And it's amazing to me. And that's why when you say we're family, show me. Yeah, family they argue with each other, and but putting hands on each other.
Right.
Come on, man. In a locker room, putting hands on each other. And then if you see his car at a restaurant or somewhere, you say, I ain't going in there because he there. Yeah, come on, man. That's just childish. That's middle school stuff. But for this team to be successful, one, they got to stay healthy. And one, they got to win the close games.
Right.
They got to win the close games. And they got to win the turnover battle. That's if you want to win 10 or more games, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. I mean, anything else, I haven't talked about the quarterback play, because it is what it is. Mm-hmm. We have what we have.
He improved over every game last year, so we really can't.
Yeah.
I don't like going into it with a negative mind frame. The kid performed better after every game last year that he was put in. Right. Let's give him the opportunity to show us that he can still do that.
Well, this organization was smart enough to put weapons around him,
right,
to help him become successful, right, and then put a defense behind him that's going to help him become successful, because they're going to have great field position all year, short field, and we got one of the best kickers in the game today, so we know we're going to score points. It's just that and I know the defense is going to create turnovers, and I know we're going to be better defensively. It's just that, here's the thing I say, you have so many weapons on offense. You just got to wait your time, and right, you can't get upset. You got to keep doing your job. You can't get upset. You just got to wait. This ain't your game, but you still do what you do. The next game might be your game. But if you're winning, before you know it, you at 12, 13 wins. You don't want a division. You got to buy. Mm-hmm. 2 games, you're in the Super Bowl.
That'll be awesome. So what you got for us at the end of today's show?
Well, it's just something that I think people need to know and need to understand. We carelessly or just arbitrarily, when we say God is good, people come back all the time, God is good. Right. And we know God is good because we've seen what he's done in the past. The Bible tells us so. And some of the things he's done in our lives. But we don't say that in our house anymore. We say God is amazing. We're not religious. we don't use religion because religion tells you to do,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the spirit tells you done. So we're spiritual people. So when you go through a situation and you're praying and you're crying and you're praying, you're crying, and your faith is being stretched, being stretched, but you know for there's no doubt in the world that God is going to leave you. You have no doubt. And you pray for something and it happens. It happens in that moment. Not once, not twice, 3 or more times in that moment. And all you can do is say, God is amazing because he answered the prayer that you asked for in that time of the biggest storm that you ever had in your life, that your family has ever gone through. Mm-hmm. And now when I speak words of my faith is bigger than any fear, it's true. When I say God is amazing, it's true. When I say he answers prayer, it's true because I've seen it happen in my life, just recently in my life. But the only way it can happen, you got to plug in. You got to plug in, man. You got to plug into him. You got to plug into him and stay connected. That's just like you unplug your TV and try to watch TV. You ain't get nothing from it.
Right.
You ain't get nothing from it. Right. It's like your refrigerator. You unplug your refrigerator, everything in there is spoiled. Mm-hmm. But for it to stay fresh and stay relevant and help you and nourish you, you got to keep that refrigerator plugged. So if you want to stay nourished, you want to stay blessed, you got to plug into God every single day. And you got to pray, read your word, have time with him. You have to. If you want success, if you want to be blessed, if you want others around you to be blessed, you got to plug into God. That's it.
Right on. Well, thank you as always, T. Amen. Hope everyone subscribes to the YouTube channel, Atlanta Sports Unlimited, and turn on those notifications. The season is this close. It's this far away. I can't wait. Have a great day, everybody.